chain. We adore thee, whom all men love, spotless, taking man's form. O purifier, thou art above the gunas three, knowledge divine, not flesh. Thou whom the cosmos wears, a diamond at its heart. Let us look deep in thine eyes. They are bright with the wisdom of God, that can
is often celebrated in the West, in America, for his preaching of Vedanta. In India, yes, Swami Vivekananda is credited with preaching Vedanta, but more than that, uh, Swami Vivekananda is celebrated for his preaching of the gospel of service. Swami, he said, the poor, the illiterate, the ignorant, the afflicted, let these be your God. Know that the service of these alone is the highest religion. So Swamiji, that was his gospel of service. Now, this was a very new idea, especially in the context of monasticism. He gave a new turn to the monastic institution by this gospel of service. Even among his brothers' disciples, who were disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, this teaching did not receive much favor at the beginning. But it was Swami Akhandananda who, for the first time, he was the first among the brother disciples of Sri Ramakrishna who accepted this philosophy, this ideal of Swamiji and put them into practice. That was the greatness of Swami Akhandananda. He was born on September 30th, 1864 in Calcutta. The name he received from his parents was Gangadhar Gangopadhyay. Gangadhar Gangopadhyay. So he was Swamiji, because Gangadhar, his name was started with Ganga, Swamiji used to call him Ganges. Even from his, this Gangadhar, even from his boyhood, he was extremely orthodox in his habits. He would bathe in the Ganges 4 times a day, and he would perform his devotions, read Bhagavad Gita, and then more importantly, he would not eat food cooked by others. He would cook his own meals and eat. So orthodox was he in his habits. He met Sri Ramakrishna when he was just 13 years old at a devotee's house in Kolkata. But then he could not speak to Sri Ramakrishna. The actual meeting, what we may say the first meeting, it took place in Dakshineshwar when this Gangadhar was 19 years old. So the first meeting, as it happened, it's very interesting. So first meeting and as well as the next meeting. So Sri Ramakrishna, he went to Dakshineshwar along with one of his friends, and Sri Ramakrishna was happy to see him, and he asked him, have you seen me earlier? So this Gangadhar replied, yes, I have seen you when I was very young. So Sri Ramakrishna was very much amused getting this reply. So even at the age of 19, this Gangadhar looked very, very young and had a very childlike demeanor. So Sri Ramakrishna immediately called out, hey Gopal, you see, this young fellow says that he saw me when he was young. So he asked him to stay overnight, and then next morning he told him, you ask him to come again on a Saturday. So probably the following Saturday, this Gangadhar again went to Dakshineshwar. Sri Ramakrishna received him, and in the evening he asked him to go to Panchavati after saluting all the temples, and then he asked him to stay overnight on that occasion as well. Next day morning, so he took him to the veranda along with a mat and pillow. And then he made Gangadhar sit and straightened his position. He told him how to sit for meditation. He showed him, and then he asked him to meditate for a while, and then Sri Ramakrishna initiated him by drawing something on his tongue. So, and then after the initiation, Sri Ramakrishna, he laid down on the mat with his feet in the lap of Gangadhar. So, and then he asked Gangadhar to give him a massage. So Gangadhar was well built and he used to go do this wrestling. So he started pressing the feet of Sri Ramakrishna. But as soon as he started, Sri Ramakrishna cried out, "Arey, what are you doing? My legs will crumble. It will break. You do it slowly. You do it softly." Then this Gangadhar was very much embarrassed. Then how should I do? Then he said, "You just gently pass your hands on my feet. That should be okay." So that was the Sri Ramakrishna's training. Then Sri Ramakrishna also appreciated his orthodox habits. But at the same time, he thought that this Gangadhar was probably doing it, was overdoing it and bit fastidious in that regard. So he wanted to break some of those habits. So one day when Gangadhar went to Dakshineshwar, so Sri Ramakrishna asked him to take food in the Kali temple. Okay, so now as some of you may know, in Dakshineshwar Kali temple, along with there is the temple dedicated to Mother Kali, there is also temple dedicated to Radha Krishna. Now, in the temple of Kali, the fish and meat are also offered to Mother. They are also offered to the Mother. So the kitchen is a non-vegetarian kitchen, whereas in the kitchen where the food for Radha Krishna is cooked, there it is pure vegetarian food, no fish or meat. Now usually those devotees who are vegetarian, they would eat in Radha Krishna temple. Sri Ramakrishna knew that this Gangadhar was a vegetarian, but still he instructed him to take food in the Kali temple kitchen. Now he sent him to the Kali temple, but this Gangadhar, he noticed that as he was walking towards the temple, Sri Ramakrishna was still standing in the veranda, watching him whether he will go to Radha Krishna temple or Kali temple. So Gangadhar, he went to Kali temple, but still he ate only vegetarian food there. And then when he returned from there, Sri Ramakrishna was waiting at the door with a few beetle rolls. In India, they are called pan. So beetle rolls, and gave him. It said, "See, it is good to eat beetle rolls after the meal. So it drives away bad breath." So this Gangadhar, because of his austere habits, he would not eat beetle rolls. They are considered a sort of luxury. So, but Sri Ramakrishna made him eat. So that was the training. And then he asked him to meet Naren. So Sri Ramakrishna knew that in later life, so Naren will be the leader of all these boys. So he wanted to make sure that a strong friendship, strong bonding is forged between these. So he asked him to meet Naren, and Akhandananda, this Gangadhar, when he met Naren, he was so impressed. In the very first meeting, he was so impressed by the brilliant eyes of Naren, and he reported it to Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna was very happy to learn that he met Naren and understood him. Then another day, Gangadhar went to Dakshineshwar. So, and whenever he used to visit Kali temple, he would stand at the threshold of the temple and have darshan of the Mother. But on that day, Sri Ramakrishna took him to the temple and asked him to come inside the sanctum sanctorum. So Gangadhar also followed, and then there, when he was inside the sanctum sanctorum, Sri Ramakrishna said to Gangadhar, "Look, here is living Shiva," he said. So as you know, the Mother Kali stands on an image of Shiva. So Shiva is lying prostrate on his back, and Kali stands on his chest, Shiva's chest. Now, those who are having the darshan of Mother, they cannot see the face of Shiva because Shiva is turning his face upwards. They can only see the top of the head. But so this Gangadhar had never seen the face of Shiva earlier. Now, when Sri Ramakrishna took him inside and said, "Look, here is the living Shiva," Gangadhar, he observed that Shiva was really living. He was living and he was breathing. So that was the vision. So usually in the interpretation of Kali's image, we see that Shiva represents the inert principle, the absolute, and Kali represents the dynamic principle. Shiva is said to be dead and inert. But Sri Ramakrishna, so powerful were his words that he showed the living Shiva there to Gangadhar. Then when Sri Ramakrishna was sick, he was shifted to Kashipur, and Gangadhar, along with other brothers, he served Sri Ramakrishna. And after the passing away of Sri Ramakrishna, the young disciples, they all banded together and founded the first monastery in Baranagar. Gangadhar, he did not join the monastery then. From his very childhood, he had fascination for the Himalayas, the great ice mountains. He wanted to go there. So now, after the passing away of Sri Ramakrishna, he decided to, as a mendicant monk, to see all the sacred places in the Himalayas and spend time there. But he didn't reveal his plan to anybody except his father. Okay, so in January or February 1887, that is the year following Sri Ramakrishna's passing away, he told his father that I am going to Himalayas. So his father was also a great devotee, and he came to the railway station to see off his son. And on the eve of his departure, he blessed him. "Go, my son, fulfill your mission. This world is unreal. I bless you. May you attain unflinching devotion to God." So these are the words. So his father blessed him. So Gangadhar was so fortunate to have such a father. So Gangadhar, he had received the ochre cloth from Sri Ramakrishna when he was in Kashipur. So he collected that ochre cloth and set out for the Himalayas. So next, for 3.5 years, he was in the Himalayas. First, he visited on the way Bodh Gaya, then Varanasi, and then he went to Rishikesh, and from Rishikesh to Jamunotri, Gangotri, and then Kedarnath and Badrinath. This Jamunotri, Gangotri, Kedarnath and Badrinath are called Chardham. So he visited this Chardham, and from Badrinath he decided to go to Tibet. Even then, at the time, it was very, very inaccessible, and very few people dared to go. But this Gangadhar, he went to Tibet. In fact, he visited Tibet thrice. So when he was in Himalayas, he visited Tibet thrice and became well acquainted with their language, customs and all. So during this entire trip, Himalayas, he went through wonderful experiences. He wrote about his experiences in his book. In Bengali, it is called Smriti Katha. It is very thrilling to read that. And that book is translated into English with the title From the Holy Wanderings to the Service of God in Man. So this is the title of that book. It's a very interesting book. Then after visiting Himalayas, Tibet and all, he returned to Baranagar. Baranagar monastery, and then Swami Vivekananda asked him to take formal sannyas. By then other brothers had already taken the monastic vows, so he asked him to take the monastic vows before the picture of Sri Ramakrishna, and he gave him the name Swami Abhedananda, Swami Akhandananda. Akhandananda means the undivided bliss. Then Swami Vivekananda, he wanted to practice austerities in the Himalayas, and he wanted a companion. So he asked Swami Akhandananda to accompany him. Swamiji knew that Akhandananda is he knows the terrain of the Himalayas and all the routes. So it would be nice to have him his company. So he asked him to accompany him. Unfortunately, they could go only up to Almora because of the illness of Akhandananji, and later of the illness of Swami Vivekananda himself. They had to come down to other places of lesser altitude. Then Akhandananda came to Meerut. Meerut is a place in Uttar Pradesh. So he came to Meerut, and Swami Vivekananda also joined him later there. And almost 6 or 7 disciples, they lived in Meerut in a house there, and it became like the second monastery. They spent quite a few weeks there, and at that time Swami Akhandananji would bring books from a library for Swamiji to read, and he would also read those books. Then Swami Vivekananda, he was aware of his mission in life, and he told his brother disciples, said that he was going away alone, and he forbade them to follow him. He said, I have a mission to fulfill, and I want to roam, I want to wander alone the length and breadth of the country. But Swami Akhandananda was so dear to Swamiji that he could not bear his separation. So he took it as a challenge, that he told Swamiji, wherever you go, I will follow. Even if you go to the nether world, I will follow you. That was. Then Swamiji of course did not reveal his plans, where he was going or in what direction. But Akhandananda would follow, and Swami Vivekananda, he even changed his names so that his brother disciples would not track him. Akhandananda, he followed him from one province to another province, and wherever he went, he will come to know that Swamiji had left that place just 2 or 3 days ago. But Swami Akhandananda, with so much of devotion and dedication, he continued his pursuit, and after chasing him for several months, he finally caught up with Swamiji in one remote part in Kutch. Swamiji was also happy to see him there, but then he told him, see, now I have a mission, please don't follow me anymore. Then Akhandananda said, okay, now I will let you go free. So then by the beginning of 1897, that should be Swamiji set out for America in 1893. So in the beginning of 1893, when Swamiji came towards the south, Swami Akhandananda, he went to Rajasthan and he lived in Khetri for some time. There, for the first time, he understood the misery of people, how people were suffering because of poverty and lack of education. He impressed the king of Khetri that he should do something for these people. So with the help of the king, he established 5 primary schools and then also initiated several projects for the alleviation of the poverty of the people. Then after working there for about a year, he returned to the Alam Bazar monastery. By then, monastery had been shifted to Alam Bazar. Then, in 1897, he started walking barefoot on the bank of Ganga towards the north. Okay, he came to a place called Berhampur, which is 20 miles from Murshidabad district. Murshidabad is a district in Bengal towards the north Bengal. So he came to a place called Berhampur. There he saw a very sad sight. One Muslim girl was crying bitterly. So he asked what was the matter. So this Muslim girl had come with a pitcher to fetch water, and that pitcher had fallen to the ground and it's now broken, and this girl, she didn't know what to do, and that was the only pitcher in the family, so she was crying. Sri Ram Akhandananda took pity on her, and he bought a new, with little, he had just maybe 4 annas or very little money. So he bought a new pitcher to her, gave her, and some puffed rice that also he gave her to eat. Just after this, she was surrounded by 10 old women, so who asking for food. They all came to him, please give us food. So whatever little money that was left with him, so he purchased some food and gave it to those old ladies. Then he came to know that another one old lady, a famished old lady, was lying ill in a hut, and he immediately went to her and did whatever he could to help her. So then he understood that this whole area where he was, this Murshidabad district, was in the grip of a famine. So this was his first contact with the famine. He from that place, as he proceeded further, the situation became more and more pathetic. So people were suffering till in one point, it is a place called Mohalla. When he came to Mohalla, he could not stand it further. He said, unless I do something to help these people, I will not go away from this place. He took this resolve that I will stay here till I can alleviate the sufferings of these people. Then that was September 1897. Swami Vivekananda had returned to India, and he was staying at Alam Bazar Mutt, and he wrote to Swami Vivekananda that such is the condition here, people are suffering a lot, I wish to do something, you please help me. And Swami Vivekananda was of course happy to learn this, that he was willing to serve. So he sent 2 monks and some money for the relief work. So the first famine relief work was started then in this Murshidabad district by Swami Akhandananda. So for almost a year, this famine relief continued, and he distributed large quantities of rice and other food items among the people. So when he was doing this famine relief, he had to take care of 2 orphan children. So he took care of them, but then the idea entered his head that an orphanage can be started here. So he started an orphanage in that place, Mohalla, and then that orphanage was shifted, was moved from that Mohalla to a village called Sargachi. It's also in Murshidabad district, and that Sargachi, that is where now we have the branch of Ramakrishna Mission, which is associated with the name of Swami Akhandananda. So Akhandananda lived in that Sargachi ashram for many, many years. It was very close to his heart. In that Sargachi, along with an orphanage, he started a dispensary and a vocational school, and another primary school. All this he started for the service of the people. Then in addition to his work in Sargachi, he did flood relief and also earthquake relief in Bihar in the coming years. So Swami Akhandananda was a very good conversationalist, and he had an aptitude for learning languages, and more importantly, he loved fun. So the boyish element was very uppermost in him. So his brother disciples, they knew this side of Akhandananda, so they would tickle him by creating humorous situations. So there are very, very interesting incidents, but for lack of time we cannot go into them. Then Akhandananda was made president of the Ramakrishna Math and Ramakrishna Mission in 1934. So as president, he was expected to give mantra diksha, spiritual initiation to devotees. Initially he was hesitant, but later on he started giving initiation, and he blessed a good many earnest seekers. He loved Sargachi, as I said, very dearly, and he never wanted to be away from Sargachi. So as president, he was expected to be in Belur Math more, but he always would go back to Sargachi. But his desire was that he should give up his body in Belur Math. That was his desire. And this wish was also providentially fulfilled. Towards the end, when he was lying seriously ill in Sargachi, so he was shifted from Sargachi to Kolkata for the treatment. And after reaching Kolkata, he came to Belur Math, and just after 2 or 3 days, he passed away. He attained Mahasamadhi on 7th February 1937. He was 72 at that age. His body was cremated just very close to the Swami Vivekananda temple. So Swami Akhandananda, as I said, he had a very large heart, and he devoted his entire life for the service of people. And he would often recite one Sanskrit verse. The verse goes like this: Natvaham kamaye rajyam na swargam na punarbhavam kamaye dukkataptanam praninam artinashanam. I do not covet earthly kingdom or heaven or even salvation. The only thing I desire is the removal of the miseries of the afflicted. So this verse, which he often repeated, so summarizes his philosophy of life. So his whole heart was given to the service of the people. So today is his birthday. So let us pray to Sri Ramakrishna and his dear disciple that they may shower their blessings on all of us. Thank you. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.